Looks like all of my stuff here is dry, my wood filler. So I'm going to go ahead and start sanding it and see what we've got. I might need to put another layer. Depends on how well I did my sanding and my filling. But I think it's going to work out this time. I don't think I'm going to need another layer. Turned out nice and smooth. Look at that. It's definitely not going to look brand new. I don't want it to look brand new. It's not. So I want to appreciate its age, not make it look like it came brand new out of a furniture store. As you can see by all the sawdust, I sanded this side smooth. See the front areas, nice and smooth. This side had a chunk missing out of it, filled that in, smoothed it out. That was some termite holes. Now I'm gonna wipe it down and paint it. Can't wait to see this done. So I'm just gonna finish wiping this down with a wet rag, get all the dust off, and then I will go ahead and do my first coat of paint. I have some leftover paint samples from our previous house that we lived in, and this color is called Subtle Touch by Behr. And it's a really, really, really pale gray, almost white. And I'm going to do this all over the trunk, except for in these beautiful spots where the wood has all this detailing in it. It's like an inlay of a different kind of wood veneer. So I'm going to leave those exposed and paint the whole thing in that Subtle Touch color. But my mom actually gave me the idea of painting it navy blue, and imagine this being navy blue. That would be gorgeous. So I might just use this Subtle Touch as like a primer and put blue over that and maybe like sand through it a little bit. The first coat is finished. I actually ran out of that paint sample. So I guess that's a sign that it's going to go dark blue. So I'm going to run up to my local Ace Hardware and get some dark blue paint. I might just get like a satin finish paint, just a little small amount of paint for just this project, because I don't think I'm going to want to do anything else dark blue anytime soon. First coat of the blue that I picked out, the color is called Midnight Sonata. And it's funny because I couldn't pick between this color and another one called like New Adventure or Big Adventure or something like that. I just love the name of it and I thought it was so neat. But then I look and right above this color it says it's the color of the year for Valspar. And Ace Hardware carries Valspar in Clark Kensington, and Valspar is very comparable to Behr, and I like Behr. So I went with the Valspar color of the year apparently. So I'll do a second coat, maybe even a third, do a little bit of distressing on it. And then these wood spots here, I'm going to condition them and make them look beautiful and shiny. And I might even use that same wood conditioner on the whole piece because it has a little bit of stain in it and it will give like brown tones or like an aged tone to the dark blue. Dark blue is finished. And I've just started doing the distressing. I'm using the sanding block right here with a nice 220 grit sandpaper, and I'm hand sanding it because this is too delicate to use a power sander on. It would end up looking too distressed, more distressed than I want it to. As you can see, I'm just adding the type of wear you would see on a piece that was built in the 1940s and has lived to make it to today. Example of how I sand it. Just really lightly. I want to get a little bit onto the other two bumps there. Trying not to get too far onto the top. Just barely touch it. The corners I like to do a little extra because those would actually be more beat up than the rest of the piece if it had been naturally distressed through time. Rag on the end, dip it over, like kind of like how us ladies do nail polish remover, and then I'm serious, it makes the wood look brand new. Look at that. And when we put it over top the paint, it gives wood tone to the whole piece. It's gonna look amazing. Look at that. As you can see, it is now fixed, and surprisingly, I used this stick to fix it. This is a skewer stick, like you would make kebabs with. Usually you're supposed to use toothpicks. That's kind of like the cowboy ingenuity trick that everybody teaches you in woodworking. You just break off the tip of a toothpick, or more than one depending on how big the hole is compared to your screw, and shove it in the hole, and then screw that screw in with the toothpicks in there to fill out the space. But I could not find my toothpicks, so I found a skewer and I made it work. Over here, as you can see, it's like a very high-tech thing I'm doing here. Oh, nice. I got 2 bricks holding down the glue, this glue that I used, to glue the side back to the metal here, because it had already been originally glued. That's what that green in there was. So I'm going to glue that back down. It should take the warp out of the tray, and it's going to be as good as new.